Hi everyone, my name is Sandra. Welcome to my channel. Today's look is this kind of like olivey bedroom dark look. I love this. I'm in love with it. But I got it with this palette here. It's a ColorPop palette and it's called Boudoir Noir. I love this palette. I added sparkle at the last minute. This shade here, which is called Bedtime Story. Oh, I didn't think that my look would be this pretty with this palette, but I love this formula. I don't know what it is. It's the same thing with the Menage a Moi palette that I did previously. So that's this one, which is more purple tones. I will be a huge ColourPop fan. They've got the best formulas. I am so impressed. So if you want to see how I got this look, go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so we're gonna get started with my makeup. My skin is prepped. I feel exhausted actually. I look pretty tired too. I'm gonna use my Backlight priming filter. I love this stuff. I usually just add it to my sponge. I put a couple of pumps on and ooh, that's cold. Okay, so my skin is all prepped, ready to go for foundation. I'm going to be using my new Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage in the shade Golden Beige. I love this color. It is like the perfect shade for me. And I'm only going to do a pump and a half. And I usually put it right on the sponge and then just use my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge to spread it out. And I know I've probably gone over this a million bazillion times, but when you are using this sponge to apply your makeup, never swipe it on your face because it just moves the foundation from one spot to another. The best is just to pounce it on your skin. Make sure it is really wet, but not too wet, so make sure you bring it out, but it does need to be damp, and just to continue until your makeup is looking flawless, especially along your jawline and by your ear. You don't want any weird lines or anything like that, and also around your hairline. Okay, so now once that's blended out, I'm going to go in with my concealer. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape in light medium sand. I won't be highlighting with this or contouring or anything today. I'm just going to use it under the eyes to cover up my dark circles. And then I take some of it from the pointy tip of my sponge and go around my nose because I do have veins that I like to cover up there. And I go over top my eyelids. I usually don't like putting concealer on my eyelids. I use usually a nice kind of special concealer for eyeshadow base. And lately I've been loving the MAC Paint Pot. It's like a nice, drier, thicker concealer so that it doesn't slip and slide all over your eye. But I put it on there because when I blend out my concealer, it leaves like this line up here, and I just like to blend it all over the eye area because I really get into that inner corner where it's also pretty dark for me. And a little bit of extra concealer around my nose helps to cover up any red areas. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set everything down with my Hourglass Translucent Veil Powder. I love this powder. I have probably a bazillion different types of powder, but when I'm looking for a light setting powder, I usually go to this one. And I'm not going to do anything crazy here. I feel like my face is a little, like when I feel like it could slip and slide around my face, I like to set a little bit more than I normally would. So I am using my Sigma Spotlight Duster. I've been loving this brush for powder because it's a little bit smaller and easier to control. And under the eyes, I've been loving the Sigma F35 tapered highlighter brush. It's the perfect size to get underneath that smaller eye area. And then I'll just switch to that brush after and use a little bit more powder just to make sure that the under eye area is set. Okay, so before I go in with bronzer today, I will be doing my eyebrows. Sometimes I switch it up. I usually do eyebrows or contour first. It just depends. With my eyebrows, I'm going to be using Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz today. I usually switch between this one and the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I am in love with that one. I don't really use the liquid tip as much, but I just like the formula a lot better on the pencil. It's a little bit less waxy than any other pencil that I've been using lately, and it goes on nice and smooth and it looks natural, and I still use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Gel to kind of hold everything down. And I'm just filling in like the less dense areas of my brow and making the edges a little bit more even. And I don't really make them exceptionally dark. I used to, I think it was last year, I was really into a dark brow, so I would use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Gel. And there's still times when I like using that product, but lately I've just been liking a lighter brow. I just like it where it's a little bit more defined and filled in, but not extremely bushy because, you know, my eyebrows aren't bushy and I think that it just wouldn't suit my face. Okay, and then I just run the dip brow gel through the eyebrows. And voila. I'm going to go ahead and bronze now. I'm using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I love this stuff to give myself healthy, natural glow. I won't be doing any contour areas, so under the chin it just makes your face look too dark. But I will put a little bit on the forehead and on the nose and the chin and the cheeks, just a tiny bit. I'm using my large powder F30 brush by Sigma. I love using a fluffy brush for this step because it goes on, especially for bronzer, because it goes on more in a general area, so you don't put it in a specific area. I don't have to be precise with this step. This is to give my skin the nice sun-kissed glow that we're missing right now because it is winter. And when you're a little less precise with this, it's a little bit more natural looking. And that is it. So I don't go overboard with this step at all. The next step is blush. So I'm using my Too Faced Papa Don't Peach. I love this blush. It's my favorite. Of course, my F10 Sigma powder blush brush, just on the apples of the cheeks. And this color gives me a nice fresh glow. I'm not looking for like a really pink or dark blush at this point because I want my eyes to pop. It's going to be a holiday look. And this just looks like you've got a fresh, glowy face and you just came in from outside. A little bit on the nose and the chin. And then for highlighter, I'm going to keep this out. Of course, it's my Mary Lou by the Balm. I will keep it out for under the brow and the inner corner. But for now, I'm just going to highlight my face. So this is my F03 High Cheekbone Highlighter brush. A little bit on the cheek. The nose. I like putting a little bit between my brows and on the chin and Cupid's bow. And then after we've applied highlighter, I'm going to spray my face with my setting spray. I've been using these two up recently, so it's my Maybelline Master Fix and my Morphe. They're almost all gone, you guys. I'm really happy to have some product empties right now. So this is just going to meld all of the makeup on your face together, make it look natural and combined and beautiful and glowy. So we're just going to go ahead and spray. And before I do anything else, I just let it dry for a moment. If you have a heat tool or a blow dryer, works fine. You can just kind of blow your face dry and that will help to make it look beautiful, but I don't have one on hand at the moment, so I'm just going to leave it for now. So next is makeup. So I'm going to use my ColorPop Boudoir Noir palette. So the last makeup look I used was the Menage a Moi palette, which was so nice. I love the formula. These are the first palettes I have tried, and yeah, they're just so pretty. So I don't really know what color I'm going to use, but I think I want to use a Bedtime Story, which is that sparkle on the lid at some point. And I think I'm going to stay away from the gold, but I think I also want to go in with that green shade, which is Late Text. And I also really like the shade Body Language up here, and possibly Good Night, which is this one. So some kind of look between those colors. So let's see what we can do. And Hot Toddy will definitely be the dark shade. It looks like a brown, but I won't know what it looks like until I put it on the eye. So I'm going to start by priming my lid. I'm going to use my Precision Angled P84 brush. It's got an angle. I use this for all my concealer work. It looks a lot larger than it is, but when I put it up to my hand, it's quite small. So I'll open my paint pot and just put this all over the lid. This is more of a darker color, but it's more of my shade for my eyelids. It doesn't honestly matter what you use. A lot of people do use concealer, and you just got to pick the right concealer. So there's products made for eyelid, specifically for eyelid primer, and I have quite a few of those. I have the Urban Decay eyelid primer, I have the Fenty primer, and I also have a Sigma primer, which is like one of my favorites. The color is Ignite. And I also have the Anastasia eye primer, which is really dry and really white. I think all of these primers kind of are good for at some point. It just depends what look you're going for, what colors you're using on your lid. And I've also got Painterly Soft Ochre, or not Painterly, I've got Soft Ochre and then Lay and Low. And I like these as well. So these are basically concealers, but they're really dry in a pot formula, so they also act as a really nice eyeshadow base. But I probably wouldn't, and Shape Tape works well too, but I wouldn't use like a light concealer on the lid or something that would move around or is like oily or sticky. That is a huge no-no. Okay, so now that's blended on. Let's start by going in the crease. I want to use Late Text, so I'm going to go in right with that olive shade there. I'm going to start with an E25. I'll move in closer so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Definitely an olive shade, and I love that. I want to keep that olive look. It's kind of stamping it on because I want that definitely to show, and then I'll go ahead and start blending. And these shadows, like, I didn't know what to expect when I got these palettes because I've heard so much about them. There's so many people who use them, and I like watching Angela Bright's makeup looks. A lot of her tutorials are just so out of this world and just brilliant, and I'm going to link her channel for you guys. You should check her out if you like watching makeup tutorials. If you don't know who she is, she usually just shows one eye, which is awesome because she doesn't waste a lot of time doing the rest of her makeup, and I would love to do something like that, except I'm using my phone and I just can't get a proper angle. I think it would be better if I had a camera. So maybe eventually that's what I'll start doing. Just the looks that she comes up with, they're just brilliant. And she has a lot of different palettes. But anyway, so she was using ColorPop a lot and I was like, I should try that out. So one day I went on the website and I, found a couple of palettes I wouldn't mind trying. And surprisingly, by the price point, they're like, the same price as e.l.f. or just other cheap makeup. And these palettes are probably some of the best palettes I've ever used. Almost better than Anastasia Beverly Hills because the formula blends so seamlessly. Like, I hardly blended this at all, and it's just like the perfect blend. Like, I'm just flabbergasted right now. So I'm going to lightly blend that out with the shade Desire. It's more of this like kind of yellow mustard undertone instead of like a brown. And I'm just going to use that above. Let's go in with a smaller brush. So I'm going to use an E27, which is the baby brush, detailed blending brush. I'm going to use Hot Toddy, which is the dark color now. So I'm going into this not knowing what color this is actually going to be, so I'm putting very little on the brush. And I'm just going to start on the outer corner, kind of going into the crease a bit. I like this because it isn't brown. It's very similar to the green color. But just to make sure it stays green, I'm going to mix Late Text and Hot Toddy together, so the green and this darker color here, because I really want to keep that green shade. I just want it a bit darker. And I'm making the look on the end a little bit rounder, so I'm not really doing like a sharp V or anything like that. Okay, and now I'm going to use a bigger brush to blend this out, so it's a clean E35, and I don't want it to be too dark. So I'm not going to put any dark color on the lid at all. I'm going back into Desire just to blend out the edges a bit. Now for the lid, I'm going to go in with my finger because I learned the last time I used a brush, it didn't work very well. So I'm going to go in with Body Language, which is this one here. And I'm just going to use my finger and put some on the lid to see what shade it looks like. That's pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to use, I'm almost wondering if I should use Goodnight for an inner corner highlight. I'm going to use my smudge brush. This is E21. It's clean. That's why I'm going to use it. And I'm going to spray it with some MAC Fix Plus first. And pop this on the inner corner. And now we have to add a color to the lower lash line to kind of make the eyes pop. I'm going to go in with a flat definer. Oh, this isn't a flat definer. This is actually a Morphe E29, but it has a brow brush, but I'm going to use this to stamp Late Text. So go back to the green shade all over the lower lash line just to define the line there. And then I'm going to take a clean pencil brush now, and I will go back into the same color just to make it a little bit whiter and to blend out the color a bit. So then I'm going to go into body language again and just add a little bit of this to the lower lash line as well, but the bottom inside, right beside the inner corner highlight a bit. And because I like a dark waterline when I have a look like this, I'm going to line my lower waterline with black liner, and I'm going to pile on the mascara, and we will be right back. So we're all done with mascara, and I was going to do lashes and I decided not to, only because I really like the way this looks without lashes and just with mascara. So I used my Avon True Color Glimmer Stick in Blackest Night. It's waterproof liner, and mascara is my Tarte Man Eater, which is almost toast because I've had it for about 3 months opened and it's going to be garbage soon, so I will probably switch mascaras pretty quick. The last step, I forgot to add some color to my brow bone, so I'm just going to use some of that color I used for my inner corner and just gently put a little bit underneath the brow bone, and that is it. And for lips, I'm not doing anything crazy. I want to keep it a little less sparkly because the eyes are so sparkly. I know it's hard to tell on film, but I'm using my Buxom Plumping Lip Polish lip gloss in the shade Samantha. This is like the lightest, most prettiest nude gloss I think I own, other than the Jeffree Star one. And that is it for this makeup look. So I love this. I love the fact that you can make holiday makeup looks with completely different colors. Boudoir Noir. So this palette is a holiday collection palette. And I just, I didn't even add any of this bedtime story. Ooh, let's go in there and see. So it's kind of like gold. I'm not sure if you can see that. I wonder if I put some on the top here. Oh yeah, okay. So these sparkly, I didn't really want gold on my lids, but I had to try out this sparkle color. It just adds a little bit something. Wow, look at the sparkles. It's so pretty. Okay, I got crazy with the sparkles. Yeah, I am in love with these palettes. I think they just, I don't know, I love a palette that blends really well, and I don't have that many. There's a lot of palettes that, they're very popular. I buy them because everyone else is buying them. I want to try them and to share it with you guys because my subscribers might not follow other people that I'm subscribed to, so you might not know what a product is gonna be like either. Oh, I just want to like take some of this sparkle stuff and put it down here. Oh, so pretty. Yeah, I think I said this before. For any holiday look, the sparkle is everything. It just kind of adds instant glam. It's perfect for going out to parties. And I know we're not having parties right now. We're at home, but we can party at home, right? It was kind of like, this is totally off topic, but it was like last night, Chad and I were going to have like a date night. Well, our 7-month-old is still here, but a date night without our older son. And we were going to drink beer and have a karaoke party. And my video didn't get filmed the day it was supposed to. So my plan with me. And I ended up filming it at 10 o'clock last night and then editing it right after. And then after that, I went to bed. So our plans just completely went to toast. Like it just didn't work out. But we're hoping when he gets time off that we will be able to do the same thing and kind of do some karaoke from home. So that'll be fun. But I think part of it is I can get dressed up, I can wear makeup and just pretend we're going out, because what else can we do? There's not a whole lot going on. The only thing that sucks, if you do go to the grocery store or something and you have your makeup on, you put that mask on your mouth and you get makeup on your mask, or the mask ruins your makeup. So one big thing is I don't usually put like lipstick on if I'm wearing my mask, if I know I'm going somewhere. So, but the eyes really pop because you've got your eyes done and everyone can see your eyes even though they can't see your mouth. Anyway, that's my little spiel. And that's it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you haven't. I would love to have you join my little tiny subscriber group on this channel. And also, I do have another channel, but that is more of a planner, goal setting, bullet journal channel, and with art and stuff. So if you want to check that out, it's at Sandra Dahl. I'll leave everything linked down below. So if there's a product I forgot to mention, it will be down below, and we will talk to you guys soon. Also, hit that bell notification button so you'll be notified every time I upload, and we will talk to you guys again. I think, is it Monday or Thursday? I always post Monday, Thursday now on this channel. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.